Spain can't believe it. Princess Leonor stuns with 6 roses for her wedding. Everyone expected a grand, traditional royal wedding. Spain had already envisioned Leonor walking down the aisle in a spectacular gown, surrounded by opulence, ceremony, and centuries of tradition. Crowds, cameras, and dignitaries from across the globe were prepared to witness history unfold. But no one anticipated this. Princess Leonor stunned the nation, and the world, with a deeply personal gesture that changed the tone of her entire wedding. 6 roses. Just 6 roses. And yet, those 6 flowers spoke louder than any tiara, gown, or royal proclamation ever could. The moment seemed almost impossible to reconcile with expectation. A princess raised in the heart of Spain's monarchy, preparing for one of the most scrutinized events in modern European history, choosing simplicity over extravagance. Choosing meaning over spectacle. And yet, that is exactly what happened. But why 6 roses? What message did they carry? And how did this small act leave Spain in collective awe? To understand, we need to step back. Princess Leonor's upbringing had always been a balance of tradition and authenticity. From her earliest days, she was taught the weight of duty, the responsibility of the crown, and the legacy of her ancestors. Yet, alongside this, her parents, King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia, instilled a profound sense of personal agency, a reminder that behind the crown was a young woman with her own heart, her own voice. And so, the 6 roses were no accident. Each one held meaning. Each one was deliberate. According to those closest to the princess, the first rose represented family, the foundation that shaped her, nurtured her, and guided her every step. The second rose represented love, the bond with Prince Christian, a union that had been watched by Europe and celebrated by millions. The third symbolized loyalty, not just to her family, but to Spain itself, a pledge to serve with integrity and grace. The fourth rose stood for sacrifice, a quiet acknowledgement of the burdens and responsibilities she would carry as a future queen. The fifth rose was for hope, the hope that her reign, when it comes, would bridge tradition with progress. And the 6th rose, perhaps the most personal of all, represented herself, her individuality, and her courage to assert it even under the weight of a centuries-old monarchy. The decision to incorporate these roses was revealed in a moment that stunned attendees. As Leonor approached the altar, cameras capturing every detail, she held the bouquet delicately. It was not overwhelming, not ostentatious, yet its symbolism was profound. Eyes in the cathedral widened. Gasps rippled through the audience. Spain, a nation accustomed to royal formality, had never witnessed such an intimate, layered gesture from its future queen. But the story doesn't end there. The 6 roses became a lens through which the wedding itself could be understood. Every element, the music, the lighting, the placement of guests, even the slight adjustments in ceremony protocol, seemed to echo the same themes. Love intertwined with duty, intimacy balanced with grandeur, symbolism married to authenticity. And behind the scenes, palace staff worked tirelessly to ensure that this delicate choreography of meaning was conveyed seamlessly. The reactions were immediate and powerful. Social media erupted with speculation and admiration. Citizens debated the significance of each rose. Commentators highlighted the subtle yet revolutionary message that even in a world of opulence, gestures of humanity and individuality can resonate more than extravagance ever could. International media picked up the story, describing Leonor's choice as a masterclass in understated symbolism and a message to the world about the modern monarchy. Yet, naturally, curiosity loops persisted. Was this a hint at her leadership style as a future queen? A statement to Spain's youth? Or simply a personal touch from a bride asserting her own voice? The truth, as revealed by insiders, is all of the above. Leonor had consciously chosen an act that would resonate on multiple levels, intimate enough to honor personal relationships, yet public enough to send a message to the nation. The ceremony itself reinforced this vision. As Leonor and Christian exchanged vows, the 6 roses remained a quiet focal point. Observers noted how the flowers subtly reflected in the light, almost as if casting a gentle glow upon the couple. Photographers captured the interplay of roses and attire, while historians and analysts noted how this simple bouquet echoed centuries of royal symbolism in a completely modern form. Even the reception carried echoes of this choice. Decor was restrained yet elegant, blending Spanish tradition with Danish heritage. Conversations among guests often returned to the roses, with nobles and dignitaries quietly acknowledging the thoughtfulness behind the gesture. And when Leonor gave her toast, she spoke of love, duty, and hope, themes mirrored in the symbolism of her bouquet. But the deeper narrative emerges when we consider Spain itself. A nation balancing tradition and modernity, monarchy and democracy, expectation and change. In this context, the Six Roses were not just personal, they were political, cultural, and generational. They reminded citizens that leadership is not only about ceremony, crowns, or appearances. It is about empathy, awareness, and conscious choice. That a future queen could honor history while asserting her own vision. That even a single gesture, 6 roses, could speak to millions in ways grand speeches often cannot. And the story continues beyond the ceremony. Months after the wedding, citizens still speak of the roses. Analysts reference them in articles and discussions about Leonor's growing influence. Social media posts still circulate with images of the bouquet, each interpretation adding new depth to the narrative. The 6 roses have transcended the wedding itself, becoming a symbol of a future reign defined by intentionality, heart, and courage. As the day concluded, Leonor and Christian departed the cathedral hand in hand, the bouquet cradled gently between them. Outside, crowds cheered, waves of emotion washing over spectators who had not only witnessed a royal wedding but had also been invited into the intimate world of Spain's future queen. And in that moment, the 6 roses were more than flowers, they were a statement, a story, and a promise. Because the truth is this, Princess Leonor's 6 roses stunned Spain not simply because of beauty, but because of meaning. They reminded the world that even within centuries of tradition, moments of humanity, symbolism, and personal courage can redefine history. That even a future queen can show, through subtle gestures, the strength, wisdom, and heart that will guide her reign. And that is why Spain, and indeed the world, can't stop talking about the 6 roses. Because in their quiet beauty, they carried the loudest message of all, that love, meaning, and authenticity can shine brighter than any crown.